Did you ever wonder how should you be properly bulking and what are you supposed to do when you start bulking? You're maybe afraid that you will gain fat or that you will not have the results that you want to achieve. Maybe you're afraid that you will be fat or you will gain a lot of muscle on your face, because that's what we are all afraid of, and let's be clear, we want to avoid it. Well, there's a couple of stuff you can do to actually not go that way. Some stuff are going to be inevitable, like still getting bigger, and of course you will have a little bit of fat around yourself, but I'm going to explain it to you in this video. What should you do when you start bulking to properly bulk, not gain that much of a fat, and still be somewhat lean and gain a lot of muscle. If you're like me, I recently started bulking and I was thinking, okay, what should I do to do it really properly and to not have a lot of fat and to not gain a lot of rapid fat? Let's start with this. When you start bulking, the first important thing is don't do the dirty bulk. We are past that. We are long time past that bullshit. So you are not going to fill yourself with processed sugars and processed fat, and you want to avoid that stuff. Why are we avoiding that? Because rapid calorie intake is the fastest way to get rapid fat. The bulk I'm explaining to you today is slow bulk, where you will gain more muscle than fat. You will gain more muscle than fat. That's what we want to achieve, because how much fat you gain is mainly correlated to how fast you gain weight. So if you're going to gain weight much faster, you will gain much more fat. If you're gaining weight slower, you will gain more muscle tissue than fat. That's the key in this. So what should you do? You can try and gain around 1% to 2% of your body weight a month. So if you're like me and I'm 80 kilograms, that would be around 1.5 kilos a month. Well, you can try and do this, and that means that by 1 year you will maybe gain 10 kilograms to 12 kilograms, which of course you and I can agree that it's not that much. You can go by that route and you will, trust me, gain much more muscle tissue than fat tissue. Or so if you're like me, I don't have that much time, so I will try and gain about 3 kilograms per month, which will result that by the March I'm going to weigh 15 kilograms more than I used to, which is achievable. It will leave me with much more fat, but I will try and cut down that as the time goes and when I try to shred. The most important thing is we want to gain as much muscle tissue as we can. How should we do that? Well, really important thing is that we hit our macros, and it's important to hit protein intake every single day. How can you calculate your protein intake? We can just multiply our body weight times 2. If I'm 80 kilograms, you should intake 160 grams of protein a day, and that's your maintenance levels. You can maybe add 10 or 20 grams of protein more because you're bulking, for example. So that should be your indicator what you should do. It's really important to say for the people how actually you gain weight. You gain weight by being in caloric surplus. So you have a maintenance calories that you have. Mine are around 2,300 calories to 2,400 calories. What do I need to apply is be in caloric sufficit, so be around 2,600 calories a day. That's how I'm going to slowly gain weight, still going to get a lot of muscle tissue and fat, of course, but that's the way that you should bulk. You need to avoid being in caloric deficit. A good question is, should you do cardio when you are bulking? Yes, there's no really reason to not do cardio when you're bulking. You just need to be careful to not in that game of cardio, in all of that cardio, to overtrain yourself, to start doing it so much and not be enemy to yourself and cut weight instead of gaining it. So be careful around that. But yeah, doing cardio is 100% necessary because you want to be healthy and you want to have a good stamina life. A lot of people fall into trap of when they start to bulk, they are not going to gym regularly enough. And I don't know why does that happen. They probably think that it's now easier since they're eating so much and they think that fat will cover their muscle, but actually it's the opposite. When you start bulking, you actually need to train really hard because it's the gym and the muscle tearing that actually stimulates that muscles to grow. So gym is going to be very important. It doesn't matter which split you're using. I'm currently on my full body split, but even full body split, upper body, push-pull legs, everything is going to be okay. Every split is good. It just depends what works for you the best. It's good to have at least 4 or 5 days a week of training so you can stimulate those muscles and hit all the groups at least twice. Let's now go to the eating side. What should you actually eat? Well, also as I said, try and not eat the bad food and don't make the bulk the habit of eating bad food. Try and not do that. Look at bulk as some type of just gaining much more muscle, but you're still eating good and healthy food. So what does that mean? You should now eat a lot of carbohydrates as well as protein sources and as fat, of course. What you can eat, I'm going to give you some examples for the day, is start your day with eggs and bananas. I would always advise for chicken and rice and some tortillas or something like that. That's my usual lunch. Also, what I'm doing is I'm getting noodles. They're rich in carbohydrates, so I'm hitting my macros with those type of foods. Or I'm going to get some oats with honey, with protein powder, with banana, and that will actually hit my macros really easy. And it's really easy to bulk when you're maintaining diet like that. It's not complicated, and you should also try to look for that. I'm going to leave you some of those recipes. They can help you really well. Also, guys, remember to hit the like button, follow for more, subscribe to the channel. That's really important for me. So yeah, try and look at the bulk as that way. You need to always make a plan. So it's really important that you don't go into the bulk right now and just say to yourself, okay, now I'm not going to look at what I eat. I'm just going to eat as much as possible. And I just want to wake up every day and look at the scale and try and see the bigger weight and eat as much as possible bullshit and good food and bad food and just get it in yourself. You shouldn't do that. Also, I wouldn't advise of drinking your calories in. So sodas are no-go for me. Energy drinks, no-go. So you don't want to become fat and feel bad in your body. That's what you should avoid, because that's how I was feeling when I was doing the things that I'm telling you not to do, because you're eating so much junk food and it's really not healthy for you. Try and have a healthy bulk that is really nutrition friendly. You're hitting your macros really well, you're still planning and looking at what you're eating. That's beneficial for you. Try and download some apps, AI apps that will help you scan your food and see how much calories you're ingesting. That helped me a lot. That will help you too also. So yeah, you can also eat sugary things. Try and not overdo that. You're still maintaining your normal calorie intake. But remember, how fast you gain weight will depend how much fat you're getting. The slower you're gaining weight, the less fat you will gain through your process. The faster you gain weight, the more fat you will gain in your bulk process. That's really important for you to know. That will be all for this video, guys. Smash the subscribe button, like this video, comment, send me messages on Instagram, to make you fit, and I will be there. I will be answering them for you. Hope this video helped you guys get some directions. I'll see you, and yeah, train nice.